going on, everybody? Another day, another dollar and a half. It's Friday. The weekend's going. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Um, and yeah, we're just gonna sit back, relax, talk a little football. I put the link in for the chat. Anybody who wants to hop on, anybody's welcome to hop on. Talk some ball. Um, and yeah, there's something that I want to address here, really quickly. I saw a lot of people putting stuff up across the board after what happened in the Champions League. ESPN put something up talking about, oh, is this the demise of Italian football and this, that, and the third, and all this other shit. A lot of you guys made some points. But the bigger problem is nobody made the point of the fact that the money issue was set up this way to permanently handicap City A because none of these owners or different people want City A to ever get good again because they're scared of the fact that if the ownership starts getting money, the City A could be the number one league again. And obviously there is a lot of, and the other part is, as far as within our own, the politics is a problem. The cities won't sell the stadiums. The city won't fix the stadiums, which is why Italy cannot host any major tournaments, which is why the teams have to spend money to do touch-ups to fix up the stadiums for Champions League or any of the knockout competitions. So for all those that was talking crazy, again, let's speak some facts once in a while and not make up some bullshit that doesn't go along that route of you not speaking facts of what the real situation is going on. At the end of the day, Italy's got its own set of problems to why the league is not progressing, and we got our own set of problems with talent and everything else. But a lot of the points that were made by ESPN and all these other people that have tried to chime in, stop. If you're going to talk about it, don't shy away from the problem and actually speak some truth. Let's not create our own illogical fallacies to why Italian football is not working properly. Let's all be real about that for a sec, okay? Because we all know what would happen if financial fair play went away. If financial fair play went away and everybody was allowed to spend money or take on money loans for them to be able to do what they need to do, we all know that within a few years the City A would be back to where it was at. It's just that's the uncomfortable conversation because nobody wants to talk about the point that if financial fair play went away, it would only be a matter of time before the Premier League would not be able to be the biggest team in the biggest league in the world. So let's just keep it at that. To all those who are out there who are talking, I appreciate you shedding some light on what's going on. But again, don't say shit if you're not going to say the uncomfortable truth. If you're not, you're just sitting here wasting space, being a fucking airbag. No reason for it. So that's all I want to say as far as the monologue. Macy, what's going on, my guy? How's your Friday going?
Yeah, my Friday's going great. Gianni, big up to be on your show again. We were supposed to be on Aaron's show, but apparently he changed the date around. So now his online calling show will now be tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got some stuff going on. So I thought
Okay.
I'd just do a cheeky little live show. Messaged a couple of people if they want to hop on. So we'll see what ends up going on. Chronic, Mr. Pads, appreciate you stopping by for the conversation as always. Chronic, if you want to hop on, the StreamYard link is there, brother. I'll get you on. No worries, man. Hope you're having a good weekend. Appreciate you stopping by for the conversation. Macy, what the fuck happened with this goddamn Wolves game?
Well, Gianni, I got to say, like, I was watching like the first half of the match. We were playing very well. Like we were like passing around and Declan Rice absolutely crossed that ball in for Saka. And Saka took that header superbly well, headed straight on target for the first goal. And I'm happy Saka finally found his form. But second half, he was shocking. We all know that. It comes down to the fact that we've given him a 3-year contract yet again, because now a lot of our fans are saying he's one of us now and all this nonsense. Like, come on. Saka needs to be moved on, but I'm still vexed by the fact we've given him yet another contract. And then the second half, we get a second goal. Big up to Nkapie, by the way. He was in that game. I think for me, he was probably my best player because of the fact that if it wasn't for the crossing that he did and the goal that he scored, and he was trying to help out the team, but yet again, this manager brings him off and brings on that scrubby Italian Sofia Carson. And what did this motherfucker do? He was responsible for that late equalizing own goal. How can you be standing behind the goal, and when that Edozie guy, 19 years old by the way, his first ever Premier League goal, he smacks the ball, hits the post, and then it hits that Italian Sofia Carson in the chest and in the back of the net. This is all because of the fact that this manager took Nketiah off. If Nketiah was in that position, he clears that ball away. But this Calafiori guy makes me sick. I'm sick and tired of the fact that we have dropped yet another crucial points in this title race. And now, going into tomorrow, Man City, if they slap up Newcastle and we lose to Tottenham, then our title challenge is over. Because for me, we fucked it up badly against Wolves. We should have demolished these guys because, no disrespect, Wolves are bottom for a reason. They're on the verge of getting relegated to the Championship, but we made them look like prime Ajax. Bueno took that first goal superbly well. The fact that he got the ball and he just flicked it over the top of David Raya. David Raya, I've given this guy so many credit for his saves, but he's been absolutely shocking this season. I think we have to move him on because I just don't know where is the communication between Raya and the defenders. Like, where's the communication? There's none, because Gabriel should have said to Raya, "Yo, I'm handling this. Stay where you are. I'm heading the ball away." It's just there's no communication between nobody. Everyone is just looking up to the skies like in disbelief. They should all be like ashamed of themselves. And at the end of the whistle, this Gabriel Jesus, that fucking dwarf, had the audacity to punch up somebody until he had to be restrained by Calafiori. Why didn't you do that in the match? You did it at the full-time whistle and you were lucky not to be sent off. How can you punch somebody at the full-time whistle when we've dropped points and you want to act like you're the tough guy? This Jesus needs to be sold. I'm sick and tired of that dwarf. We have absolutely wasted his potential at Arsenal when he got injured and this manager rushed him back. And now we have not seen the Jesus we saw at Man City. This Jesus is absolutely garbage. We have to sell him off. Trossard needs to go. I don't know what he was doing, holding his head in his face. I just don't know what kind of foolishness was that. Absolute disgrace from Trossard. Another player that I picked up, by the way, but for me, he needs to be moved on as well. I like Trossard. Me and Lee say that he's a baller. We stick by our word, but I just think Trossard is finished. So Trossard, Jesus, Calafiori, Odegaard, all of you need to fuck off out of my football club. David Raya as well. He can fuck off as well. Because if we do not win the Premier League or any major cup this season, because remember, Lee said it, Operation Save the Cups. Because we're in a League Cup final, but now we are diddling around in this title race, and now Man City have an advantage. And if they whoop up Newcastle badly tomorrow, then they'll be like 2 points behind us, and we've got to go to Tottenham. And I'm not confident because Tottenham are in a manager bounce. Igor Chota, even though you told me, Gianni, that he's a bit like, he's not a very like proactive manager. He'll play some of his best players and then the next game he'll leave them on the bench. But I'm worried for that Tottenham game on Sunday, because if we fuck around the same way we fucked around against Wolves, then I'm sorry. Our title challenge is done for. So now we are in a major crisis now. Our title challenge might be done by the North London derby, and if we fuck around in that League Cup final to Man City, then I'm sorry. This manager needs to fuck off. The set piece coach needs to fuck off, by the way. Why are you standing around like giving all your little biggins. Like, shut the fuck up and sit down. I'm sick and tired of the fact that Arteta keeps telling his set piece coach to get up and look at himself in the camera. Like, I'm absolutely done with this football club, Gianni. I'm just thinking to myself, we're just not. I just think to myself, we're not even serious in challenging for a Premier League title. We're just like not serious of winning nothing, because you can hear Wolves fans in the ground in the Molineux saying, second again, ole, ole. Wolves fans were singing that on Wednesday. Yeah, because if we fuck around...
Yeah, but Macy, to be fair, when you're a shit team and you know you're going to get relegated, there's nothing else left that you can really say. The one thing I disagree with you on is I don't think we need to get rid of David Raya, because I think Raya, you're not going to get that many more shot stoppers, not that many better shot stoppers around the world than Raya at this point, in my personal opinion. I lay more of that down to the...
I understand, but my problem is he and Gabriel should be communicating with each other, and the thing is, he keeps coming out of his goal too early. Gabriel should have said to him, stay where you are, let me handle this. That's what he should have said to Raya, but all Raya does, he just wants to come out of his goal and just fuck around and do this Flappy Bird thing, you know, from like Looney Tunes when they're doing the Flappy thing. Like, David Raya needs to stop listening to Arteta and just stay where he is, because if this manager just keeps telling him, come out of your goal and just pass around from the back, because this is just all part of Arteta's, like, Arteta is basically telling these players like what to do, because he's inside their head. So for me, I just think now we're not winning the Premier League, because the Tottenham game on Sunday is going to be a crucial game. They're in a manager bounce, and for me, it looks like our challenge of the title could be coming to an end.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Tottenham's going to be that much of a yeah, Lux, you're more than welcome to hop on. I don't think Tottenham's really going to get the manager bounce, to be honest with you. Tudor's shit. Tudor's a shit manager. I don't know how the hell they came up with him. I think it's just a continuance that Tottenham overall is just a shit club, and they don't know what the hell they're doing to run the club. Sammy, my guy, appreciate you stopping by for the conversation today. We did a little talk on your show. What's it called? We did a talk on your show, and we were talking about overall the situation with Wolves, and you and me were both in agreement, because you and me were the ones that actually showed chest and thought that we're winning the title. We were the ones that basically put ourselves out there and said that we think that the team's winning the title. For you, obviously, give your thoughts again on the Wolves game, and then what do you think? I'm trying to figure out how to word it. What would need to happen in order for you to gain more confidence with this team? Is it that just City needs to fall apart on their own, or do we need to have some sort of involvement with that, with beating them not only in the League Cup, but possibly also having to beat them at the Etihad as well? What are your thoughts on the Wolves game, and what would bring your confidence back up that we would secure this Premier League title?
Well, first of all, big up to you, Jan, and big up. Sorry, what's your name, guy?
My name is Macy. Pleasure to meet you.
Macy. Nice to meet you, Macy. So I disagree with the point where you mentioned. I'm going to get back to your question, Gianni, but I disagree with the point about that Gabriel should be the one communicating for that error of the goal. No, I think the goal. I mean, from what I know, playing a little bit of football, saying that the goalkeeper is the loudest person on the box. He's the one who should communicate and say move, or it's mine, or whatever. And it's a miscommunication between the two. And I would put the blame more on Raya, but the communication should be initiated by Gabriel, because Gabriel cannot see Raya, but Raya can see Gabriel and can see the ball. So he's the one who should be saying move so that he can catch the ball. And getting back to Gianni's question is, look, the attack needs to fix up. You cannot win this league with this kind of performance and this kind of tactical, defensive way and conservative approach to the games. You need to go for the attack. And you know, a lot of people are saying, how do we win? I mean, if we look at the last decade of the Premier League, all the teams that actually won, and this is one thing that my friend Ash, big up to Ash, he's saying that, and he showed it by stats, that the teams that actually won the league are the team who have the best attack. It's no longer defense, you know. And if you notice, I mean, he showed us also a couple of pictures. And I think you guys see Arteta always when the opponent has the ball, he always asks everybody to get back, right? And that negates your danger when it comes to attack. I mean, such like Madueke, such as Gyökeres, these guys have pace. So if we do win the ball high up on the pitch, or let's say we win the ball back and we can pass the ball forward quite fast, you don't have anybody there to make that run for you because everybody is defending and tracking back and all that stuff. So I think we're overdoing it when it comes to the defense, and there's no way we can win. The league with that kind of tactics. The thing about City, I think City are going to go on a mad run, but for us, we need to show consistency. As you remember, as you said, Gianni, consistency is key. We need to see a big sample. When I say a big sample, it's like 4 or 5 games that we do win in such a manner that is convincing. You know, not just 1-0, you know, grinding a game here and there, a set piece or an own goal, all this stuff. I don't want to see that shit. We need to win convincingly. We need to win in such a way that is, you know, making us believe again. And that's where you're going to build on before the Manchester City, because I think that if we do win from here until the Man City game, which is it's going to be somewhere in April, I think that's when you're going to start believing and say, okay, it's now the decisive game in Etihad. And we can believe to get something out of there, if it's a draw or a win. But in this way, I think City will eat us up. I mean, it's just not good to watch, and not only it's boring to watch, but also you're losing the league, and potentially going to lose all the other trophies if you continue doing in the same thing. Because, man, it's just frustrating to watch, you know, Wolves. And last thing about the game about Wolves is you cannot sit back. You cannot sit back and invite pressure in the last 20 minutes, I would say, and waste time against Wolves. You don't do that against Wolves. You go and score. You go and score because your back line is strong enough to handle whatever Wolves going to throw at you. You have Timber, you have Saliba, you have Gabriel. I trust these guys to, you know, defend and commit more players forward. And I don't see Arteta will do that anytime soon. And if he doesn't, we're effed. We're literally effed. I mean, I thought we lost the league since the Brentford game, by the way, not since this game. This game just confirmed my suspicions and doubts that we're not going to win it. But it's going to take a lot from Arteta and the players to get back on that horse and show consistency and show that they really desire and they have the wits for it and go all the way until the end.
Real quick before this, Gunnar Matata, I don't know what's going on between you and Aaron, but you don't need to hop on my show to air a grievance out with all this. Aaron's my guy. Aaron's not going to send anybody wrong. If you got something going on with Aaron, you need to talk with him about it. My show and my channel is not for any grievances because I'm not getting in the middle of bullshit and I won't be drawn into bullshit. So if that's what you're trying to hop on for, to air grievances with Aaron, brother, message him directly. My show is not for that. I'm not giving any platform for any type of fucking YouTube drama because I'm not the one to deal with that shit. So I'm glad we're getting that. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I've told you my take. Macy, my thing is this. I don't know any championship winning side that is struggling to put away goals the way that we are, and any team that's going for the title, that Wolves team is losing 3-4-0.
Yep.
Yeah, like
If it's Man City, if it's and it's not even just Pepper Klopp, since those are the two recent ones. It's any previous manager. If Sir Alex Ferguson is still the manager of Manchester United, he runs into that Wolves team. United slaps that team 4-0. If it's Roberto Mancini or Manuel Pellegrini as the managers of Manchester City previous, they run into that Wolves team. They slap the shit out of that Wolves team. My whole problem with everything that's going on with this team is the fact that this is just absolute nonsense, and we're trying to do everything ass backwards with with how we're playing the game. I mean, again, I've said it numerous times. The fact that when we play the ball out from the back, the fact that the fullbacks are further up the pitch than the wingers is a fucking problem. You see it time and time throughout the game. The fullbacks are further up the pitch than the wingers. The strikers in the midfield position. Fullbacks are in the strikers position. Nothing is making any sense at this point with this. And Sammy, to what you said, it is about offense now. The defense doesn't, you need your defense to do a certain bit. If your defense can at least keep it to where your ratio as far as goals, if your defense can at least guarantee you that they're not going to give up, I'd roughly say about 40 to 35 goals, but then you have an offense that's going to get you 75 to 80 goals, you got a shot to go win the title that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer the days of you need a team that's going to get you low 30s to mid 20s in order to guarantee you as a shot to win the title. It's not that type of a situation. And I just think that right now, and shout out to Shane Gooner, because he said this on one of the Irish breakfasts. What the bigger problem that I have is we've spent all this money and we're basically a team that at this current point in time is still in the running with possibly a Leicester City team to have the worst goal scoring record as a champion. Now, I'm sorry. $1 billion to have that shit of a goal scoring record, to be going up against a team that was 5,000-1 and was believed to possibly be a relegation fodder team that pulled off a miracle, is an absolute abomination, especially for Arsenal, because Arsenal historically plays the best football in all of England. And I think that's also part of the problem. I am a big believer that big clubs do not play well or do not win a lot when they get away from the identity or the DNA of the club. Big up Waffle Don for joining us as well. But yeah, it's a situation. It's a situation where, for me, I just think that if there were a few tweaks to this team, if Gyökeres was given more service and not so much ask and need for him to do link up, if it was more of maybe one pass in the build up for a score, but he's getting the ground crosses, he's getting balls immediately to his feet in penalty box area, I think we walk the league, if I'm being quite honest with you. If Gyökeres got that type of service, I honestly think that we would walk the league. Big up Jay Lux for hopping on as well.
Big up Johnny, bro.
Well, Gianni, how is this 1 billion has to do with the way we attack? Because I think this is solely on Arteta. It has nothing to do with our spending, nothing to do with the quality of the players we have, in my opinion.
My thing is this: when you spend $1 billion, you go into a different bracket and you have to be looked at differently than just a normal club that's spending a little bit here and there. When you spend $1 billion, your offense needs to be chugging along and scoring goals, and your defense needs to play. It's a different story if you're a team like, I'm trying to, here, I'll use a perfect example, even though it's not the Premier League, a team like Napoli, a small team like that doesn't spend money to that same degree as a big team. You have the right to play a different way in order to go and win. Arsenal, for me, one of the reasons why I think Manchester United has fallen from grace so hard is because Manchester United is playing a brand of football that does not represent the team, and they have spent a boatload of money in going away from their identity. Arsenal has spent a boatload of money and as well has gone away from the identity of this team. The identity of Arsenal is beautiful, open, attacking football. I'm of the belief that if Arteta was to embrace more of an open attacking feel and embrace more of the Arsenal DNA than this pragmatic stuff that he's playing and this over defensive and over coaching that he's done, I think we're able to walk the league. And I think you have to bring more of a scrutiny to it when you hit a certain dollar amount of spend. That's the reason why I always harp on the $1 billion as far as that. Whether it's the quality of players or not, it's just the fact that it's a situation where if Arsenal was still in the same place as it was with Wenger, where constant players are being sold off and he's not being allowed to spend money, It's a different. If Arteta was in that same position, you could do whatever you want to try to win or try to get by. You spending all this money, but also going away from the brand of football. We're mirroring what's happened to Manchester United, and we've both fallen off a cliff from where both clubs used to be. I think if we played more attacking football, who cares if you give up 10 more goals a season than what we've done over the last 3 years? If we played more attacking football like we did 22-23, I think we walk the league and we end up winning the league easily, no problem, especially this year. That's the reason why I scrutinize it. Lux, obviously we were on Shane's channel.
Yeah, bro. Big up for that, bro.
I know, appreciate, nice meeting you too, my guy. One quick set, because this is now starting to get out of hand. One quick set. Gunnar Matata, I don't need to hear your side of the story. Whatever goes on between you and Aaron is
get a mod in here, mate. Get modding people now, Johnny. You're one of the big boys now. You need to start modding people in the chat now. Just right click on. Yeah, you need to start modding people. That's how you'll have a little bit of control.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
I'm out for right now. I'm still learning this shit, as everyone can see. Still a rookie in technology. Only know how to do stuff with this, my hands. Lux.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have the North London Derby at the weekend, and I want to get everybody's opinion on this. I've seen Tudor plenty of times in Italy. He's a shit manager. He's even worse than the Italian Sam Allardyce, as some people have tried to coin him.
Wow.
He's a garbage manager. He dragged Galatasaray down out of the European spots while he was the manager there. He didn't do shit for Lazio. He didn't do shit for Juventus. Clearly, as we see now, if you pay attention, Juventus was being held back, playing people in improper roles and everything else. Are you truly afraid of Spurs this weekend? And if you are, is it more so because of our form, or is it because you think that no matter the form, this is a problem because it's a derby and they may have a new manager bounce?
Yeah, bro. I think generally I wouldn't be that concerned. It's more to do with how we've been performing as a club and the general feeling around the club at the moment. I think even Saka, when we saw that interview, he's supposed to be our captain. I don't know what kind of interview he gave there, bro, but everything's very flat. So I think that's the first thing. The club feels a bit flat, and City are on the rise. As they say, the sharks are swirling. And I think it's all these different factors are making me feel uncomfortable. Plus, Spurs would love to get one over us. You know much more about Italian football than me. If you say he's a garbage manager, then so be it. Yes. But I think still there's a luck element that can come in your first kind of game. Spurs would love to get one up on us regardless, kind of thing. So I think it's a combination, bro, where I feel a bit uncomfortable. Arsenal doesn't fill me with confidence. We're not doing anything that makes you look and say, oh man, we're going out there and we're smoking everyone and we look like champions and we're assured in our position, kind of thing. The players look tired. The manager looks lost. I think I even saw him on the sideline a couple of games ago turn into AirPod Albert and literally was like, I don't know what to do. Like he literally mouthed it, like, I don't know what to do. So I think that was like proof of pudding, really. So yeah, bro, I would say it's a variety of factors that make me feel uncomfortable about this weekend. I think we'll get a point, to be honest, bro. I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced.
Waffle, if you're there, same question to you. Are you worried about the North London Derby? And if you are you more worried about a new manager bouncing because it's a derby, or are you worried about because of the fact that we have or is it because of the drought that we're in? And AFC always put it in 9 points out of the last 21. Yeah, you're right. It's not even top 4 form. So Waffle, over to you with that if you're there.
I've been here, man. Listen, I'm never gonna be open and say I'm worried about Spurs because I'm a Londoner, born and bred. Over 40-something years. I don't like Spurs, and Spurs don't like me. So I'm never going to be worried about going to Spurs. But if you want to talk logically and as a fan, we should be concerned, not because they're a great team, but just as we're going for something, they're also trying to stay in this league as well. You have to remember that. If
Yep.
Forest win their game and we beat Spurs, they go into the relegation zone. So they are playing for something. It's not just a pride thing and, oh, it's Arsenal. They are playing to stay up. So this is a relegation battle for them. So the stakes are high for both clubs in this game. So both clubs need a win. Whether you ask me the question of which club winning this game is more important, it's important for both clubs. I'm not worried about Spurs. Yeah, I shouldn't be worried about Spurs. But what I am worried about is this manager, because what I saw in that last game doesn't give me any confidence. It doesn't shout out that he trusts his players. You know, we had Norgard, 32, 34 minutes this season. Whether you like him or not, whether you rate him or not, why is he not getting game time?
Sensible signing, right?
Sensible signing. Why is Saka our captain? Why is Saka our captain? He's not a leader on the pitch. All of these weird decisions that this manager makes me cringe. Now, Johnny, yeah, you're an Italian, bro, yeah? And I've been watching Serie A since way back when, yeah? Way back when he used to be on Channel 4, Go Lazio, watching all these teams. And these were men. These were actually men on the pitch. Fighters, leaders. You had leaders. Look at Totti. Totti and his team played till about, I don't know, 40 or how old he was. A leader of men.
Yep.
And then you come to Arsenal. We've had leaders. But now it's all about passing the buck, passing the captain's armband. Like it's a fashion. People don't think the captaincy is important anymore. But in certain games, like this game, Wolves, we needed someone. We needed leadership. We needed someone to calm the players down on the pitch. And we don't have this. So this is why we're going to see these type of results in these games, because we have no one in this team that is prepared to just listen, guys, yeah? We need to bloody focus, yeah? We need to win this league, yeah? I'm not listening to the manager whilst I'm on the pitch. Guys, you listen to me, right? I'm on the pitch leading now, yeah? Not this, I'm going to go to the manager, get the instructions and tell you what to do, because Arteta, no matter what you like to say, Declan Rice has a point. This guy runs the club top to bottom. He's a dictator.
Yep.
You know, he's a narcissist. And these players, yes, they say one thing to the camera, but maybe off camera that they say other things, but we're never going to hear the off camera stuff.
Yep.
But this guy controls everything. He's on the sideline, waving up his hands, doing this, doing that. That would make me nervous as a player. Every minute, it's putting me off. Every minute you're telling me, go here, do this, do that. We need, I don't know, guys, man. I don't know. There's a small little thing in me that still thinks we can win the league, but it's fading very fast. It's fading away. And I don't even like to talk about it now. I don't even want to even say that there's that little element in me that thinks we can win, because maybe it's just hopium. That's all I've got to say about that.
Sammy, same thing to you. Are you nervous about the derby? And if so, is it more on us, or is it because of this situation with Tudor coming in and the possible new manager bounce for Spurs?
No, I think we're going to smash Spurs. I can say it with confidence. But my concern is after Spurs is, can we maintain it after we win against Spurs? That's my concern. It's not Spurs. Spurs are being shit. I mean, they're in relegation, and I know that we drew to Wolves, which is the bottom of the table. It's unacceptable. But I think this slap will wake up the players, at least, wake up something in them, and they will go and win against Spurs. But my concern is after Spurs, honestly. But against Spurs, I'm not worried, really. But again, they need to show us more than just winning against Spurs, and I need to see it in a span of 3-4 games or matches. Then I can say, okay, that glimmer of hope, like Waveldon was saying, would a little bit revive there. But as things stands, I think we honestly bottled it, guys. That's my genuine feeling. I'm not gonna hide, or anything. I think we lost the league since the Brentford game, if I'm being quite frank with you. But yeah, Spurs, nah, man. Spurs are Nando FC cannot do it.
Yep. Gunnar SC, appreciate you hopping on, man. Same question to you. Are you worried for the North London derby? And if you are, is it down to our form, or is it down to the fact that it's a derby and a possible new manager bounce for Spurs, or is it a blend of both?
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. So for the North London derby, new manager bounce, and also our form as of recent. So I'll predict a defeat for now, and also after we drew to Wolves of all teams, blowing a 2-0 lead, I'm not confident anymore for the title race.
Okay. I hear you. The title race for me, like I said earlier, me and Sammy were on Sammy's show. And if you guys aren't sub to the Football Rig. Sammy puts on great content all the time. So check his channel out. We were the ones that were the positive guys, and we both thought at least 2 trophies were coming in, but the 2 recent games has eroded my confidence. For me, I think the big problem here is that, again, we're making life way too difficult for ourselves. I think if we let the handbrake go in the offensive phase, and like I said, for me, if Gyökeres got service, if he got 5 crosses a game just on the ground and play the ball into his feet, 1 or 2 of them's going in every game, and we walk the league, in my opinion. The other problem that I have is that it also seems like Arteta is trying to reinvent the game. I've never seen a team that wants to go out and win and play the shit teams, and they get a 2-goal lead and then just sit back and invite pressure and don't even try to do anything about it. I made the comment, City, like I said, all these other managers that have come in and won the league, they'll take a 3-4-0 lead against a shit team, but they'll then maintain the 70%, 75% possession and just toy with the other team. What a lot of people forget is that you waste more energy chasing the ball than you do actually letting the ball do the work. And that's another reason why I think that adds to the overall problem with the fitness levels. Now, the other problem is this is just blatant on Arteta. He needs to rotate these players. Now, the good thing is after the North London derby, I'm looking at the schedule. We have a 9-game break before, no, not 9 games, but we have a good amount of games. We have a good amount of days in between the Chelsea game where everybody needs to get a rest. He may need to say that there's no practice for about 4 or 5 days just to let these guys rest up and relax, because there are so many guys on this team that look like they are just ready to drop at any moment. And the 2 ones that we have to worry about the most, for me, in my opinion, is Rice and Timber. If Rice and Timber get hit with a massive injury before the League Cup game or at any time before the end of the season, I don't think we're winning the league even more, because those, to me, have been the 2 biggest and most important players for this team so far this season. Obviously, there's been now talk going around that we're linked to Esposito and Bastoni from Inter. We're already talking about next year for possible players. I'll go around because I'm interested in this. If I was to give you 10 slots, five players go out and 5 players come in to change the team, and I'll even give you a 6th spot, you can get rid of the manager. Who would you bring in for a new manager? How would you like to rework this team? Sammy, I'll start with you.
Oh, you put me in a spot here. I get to choose any player?
Anybody you want.
Okay. So we're gonna go with something feasible, or can I go mad? You know.
You can go both. You can do a blend of both if you want.
Okay. Well, for starters, I would. We need a 10. So I would go. Yo, man, you put me in a spot here, Gianni. I haven't thought of it. Well, striker. Let's go with the striker first. Striker, I think we need to go with a solid striker because I think Gyökeres is not been performing, and maybe you would say it's a system, but I think he's not performing. So whoever is available now is currently, I think, Alvarez. Alvarez is a good shout. Premier League proven. Left wing, definitely. I would go with Leao. Number 10, we would need a solid 10. That would be, yeah, a tough one.
Here, I'll cut the tension. For me, I agree with you. We need a number 10. The first guy I'm looking at is Yunus Akgün from Galatasaray. The guy can ball. Guy's good with both feet. He's
Come
pacey.
on, Gianni. If you had the whole world to choose from, you're gonna choose that guy?
Yep.
No, you can't be serious. I'm sorry, I can't take you serious.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Wow.
Because
wow.
I'm going for, so here, we need a permanent left back. I do like Hincapia, but I don't know if Hincapia offers me enough going forward with the way that I would like to see the team play. I personally think Timber is the best defensive right back in the world. I really don't care to see Timber go forward anymore. I'd rather him help out, anchor the back line, and I would also move Zubimendi into the midfield more of an 8 than a 6. I'm sick and tired of Zubimendi trying to be this defensive midfielder and do shit that he can't do. And he looks like a liability being ready to turn the ball over. So for me, left back, if I'm being honest, if he was available, I'm looking at either guys from Inter. I'm looking at either DiMarco or Carlos Augusto, just because I want a more offensive-minded fullback if I'm going to have Timber sit back and play more defense than letting him go forward the way that he is. For the other midfield position, we can toss it up to a ton of different ways we're going to play. If we want to go strictly 4-3-3 the way that we have it right now, I would not go Akgün if we're going to play that way. I would much rather look at Tonali to be there, and I would much rather look at a midfield of a Rice, Tonali, of an 8 and mix, because I'm giving free reign to my front three to do whatever they want. And when you're going to do that, you're going to need a little bit more emphasis of
all right. In this case, I would go Bruno, man. I would go Bruno Guimaraes.
Okay.
Alongside with Rice, and you know what? This number 10, I enjoyed watching this season, which is Shirky from Manchester City. I think he's a baller. I think he's a baller.
Agree.
And the goalkeeper Donnarumma.
Okay.
For me, yeah, that would be my changes.
Okay. Waffle, if you were, would you change the manager?
Yeah, that's the first. Oh, sorry. Is that me? My question to me?
No, I'm asking Sammy. It was the availability is to switch out 5 players, bring
Luis
5
Enrique.
players in, and if you want to replace the manager, you can replace the manager.
Luis Enrique, 100%.
Enrique. Okay. Waffle.
Well, Arteta first, Enrique.
Okay.
Yildiz. Oh man, this is, you know what, this ain't easy, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
left
your
back,
brain will swirl, you know, just
Yes.
left back, I'm thinking of, mate. Do you know what? Yeah, I really like Lewis Hall from Newcastle. You know, I do like him. Maybe he's not top yet, but I do like him. Or the other one. What's the other guy's name? Man, plays for Newcastle, but he's a bit injury prone right now. Youngster.
Livramento.
I do like him. Maybe a striker as well. I did like Osimhen at some point, but
I still like Osimhen.
Maybe Alvarez. Yeah, I like him, but for this style of play that we're going to be playing, I'm probably going to go with Alvarez. Wow.
The most important position.
What's that? Midfield.
Left wing, man. We have a dead left
Left
wing.
But can't. What's
He said-
Yildiz? Is he a 10
He
or is he
said,
a left wing?
he said, yeah, Yildiz is technically a left winger. He's a winger
Yeah.
slash left.
Yeah, he plays. Yeah, because he plays on the left for Turkey,
Yeah.
isn't it? So, yeah. Number 10. Oof. You're not gonna probably laugh, but I'm probably taking Bruno Fernandes,
Oh, he's balling out now.
but maybe a season or so. I'm taking Bruno Fernandes, bro, because he ain't one of these. What thing I like about him, is that he's got an attitude for a start, and he ain't listening to no. Anyway, it's gonna be Enrique in it. So, but yeah, maybe him. Number 8 as well, probably Tonali in the 8. How many players have I got left? 2.
You got Yildiz,
Two left.
Tonali. Who else? You said Yildiz, Tonali, Lewis Hall.
Actually, sorry, I want Nuno Mendes as the left back. Sorry, Nuno Mendes.
Oh,
Is
that's
it
a
Nuno
good shout.
Mendes?
For sure,
Yeah,
man.
I want him.
No doubt.
And I want in the 8. Is it Vitinha?
Vitinha. Yeah.
Vitinha.
Facts,
That's what I
bro.
want in the 8.
Absolute facts.
I don't know. I think I've done everyone now. I think.
Okay.
Absolute facts.
Lux, I'll come to you.
Yeah, bro. So Nuno Mendes for sure at left back, Vitinha for sure in midfield. I'd also like Goulet from Madrid. I just think he would suit us how he is
I agree.
creatively
One of my
as a
guys.
10. Yeah, I think Alvarez makes sense up front. I think the big small dynamic with Gyökeres, I would play them as a 2. As I was sharing with you earlier, Gianni, on Shane's, I think just watching Victor for those 2 seasons at Sporting, there's something there. You just have to play to it. And I think playing alongside someone like Alvarez would give him a chance, bro. I would change the formation, definitely. Everyone said Enrique as manager, so I won't say Enrique. Let's go with Simeone because he knows how to get the best out of forwards because we don't score. We don't know how to score independently. Sorry, bro.
I'd say you can go Pep if you want.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Even Ancelotti, bro.
and then who else, man? I think Rodrigo, not really for the left. I mean,
I like him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like Rodrigo.
Would you say for the left though? Because obviously I know with the right hand side. I mean, if I could get him, I'd play him anywhere. To be fair, but
in my personal opinion, I'm shipping Saka out. I'm shipping Odegaard out. I'm shipping
the whole squad.
That was the other question.
If it wasn't just a 5-man list, I would ship half the squad out. If I'm being honest. I would ship Saka out. I would ship Odegaard out. I would ship Calafiori out. I'd honestly keep Hincapié, but drop him as a bench left back.
I'm shocked you guys haven't selected Mbappe, Haaland, Yamal.
See, here's the thing. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Gyökeres because I think it's the actual system.
Yeah.
I think if you get players that know how to, if you could get players in, if you can get players in that could service him and you allow a manager to come in where the onus is not going to be a guy who everybody knew coming into this season did not have a good first touch, does not have the eye to do good hold-up play. It's more about being a fox in the box and just getting the ball into the box and him being the final touch to it. I think when you get a team that's built more so for creativity to be for the players around him to be creative and you drop it into the box and he's just there to finish, I think he could bag goals all day long, which is why I think that's been a part of the problem with the way that we play. Plus the other thing is some of the the decisions of like the players that I've played is because their capability is quick, not that many touch players
Yeah.
that can get the ball away and keep the ball continually moving, but moving forward. That's why I said, like, for me, I could, to change it up, like here, I could take Guler on the right because Guler, for one, reminds me a lot of James Rodriguez, the way he plays.
Mm.
Right? He's a left-footed right winger, but he wants to come into the middle. He drifts into the middle for more late striker. So I think Guler automatically gives more opportunities for Gyökeres. On the left-hand side, like
About Dalman.
who?
About Dalman. I know he's still young though, but
Dalman's-
he's got potential.
Dalman's on the bench. Dalman's on the bench is going to get regular minutes for me.
Mm.
That's
sure.
for me. This is Operation Save the, like how Lee Gunner said, Operation Save the Cups. This is Operation Save the Youth. For me, Gary, Miles Lewis Skelly, and Dalman are all getting 20 to 30 minutes a game for rotation. For me, I want the kids to get up to speed and playing at the top level as fast as possible, because every successful team has had youth academy players come in and be able to express themselves to fight their way into the starting 11. If they can't, you sell them off for money either way. Dalman, for me, I think is a perfect player that can play a more attacking number 10 or a right or a left wing. So he's going to be able to get moved around. Skelly's going into the midfield. I don't want to see any more fucking left back shit from Skelly. It's not his position. When we put him in the midfield against Atletico, he made Atletico look stupid for 20 minutes when he was running the whole middle. And I don't understand why we've let that go. So for me, I would go Guler on the right. I would put Tonali in the middle. So I have Tonali, Rice, and Zubamendi. And honestly, I would take Zubamendi out if I'm being quite honest with you. I'd get rid of Zubamendi. I'd go bring an old Arsenal guy back who's been tearing it up, is Guendouzi. Give me two physical, creative midfielders. We agree to disagree on that one. I'd put Guendouzi, Rice, Tonali, give me Guler on the right, and on the left-hand side, trying to think. You know what? Fuck it. On the left-hand side, give me Morgan Rogers.
I was just going to ask you, would you put Rodgers in your squad?
Yeah, well, here, I'll put
I just
Rodgers,
think of this explosive nature.
I could put Rodgers here. I could put Rodgers in at the 10, get rid of Zubamendi and put Tonali next to Rice. And on the left-hand side, at that point, you can choose a random, and I'll go Carlos Augusto as left back. On the left-hand side, I mean, you could do Tonali, Zubi, Rice, and Rodgers, or you can go Rodgers, Rice, Tonali. And on the left-hand side, we'll just throw him in there for shits and giggles. We'll throw Rodrigo in there. I think if you have that creativity around Gyökeres to where they just got to create and Gyökeres has to be in the box, I think Gyökeres could bang 20 goals in the Prem easy with that around him. I think we're holding way too many of these guys back as far as their creativity to do this nonsensical sideways bullshit in my personal opinion. I think that's
it's true. It's true. No, it's true, Gianni. He's through so many times. He's on the shoulder. He's trying to replicate what he did at Sporting, and consciously they don't. I think it's conscious decision not to pass to him. I think it's a conscious decision. They see it and they're like, I'm not going to do this because of Arteta. There's no way that you see this guy in space and what do you think? Why would you not play to him? It has to be a system thing. You have to have been informed by management that don't do that. That's not how we play. There's no other reason. And like I said, the best proof of structure is the fact that Gyökeres has left Sporting. They got a guy from Segunda, and he might beat Gyökeres' goal record. That is proof that as a system built for a striker, for a team like Sporting do, the striker will score. Sporting is the best proof, bro. They even beat PSG recently in the Champions League. So it is system. People who say it's not system, bro. It's massive system thing, bro. Massive.
But he missed a lot of sitters as well. So I'm not gonna just blame the system and say it's all about the system. The player has not been performing as well. I mean, yes, the system is not helping here, but the player has not been performing. His first touch is awful. His hold up to the ball is awful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But what I would say to that, bro, is like, yeah. Sorry. Go on, John.
The only thing that I would say that is, we've seen bigger name players than Gyökeres as strikers miss sitters when there is other shit going on. Strikers is a mental position. When you're not getting regular service and constantly firing, you will miss sitters. I mean, how many sitters did Aubameyang miss
It's
the year
true.
after we gave him the contract, but we were putting him out in different positions and he wasn't getting the regular service? There's times when strikers, if they don't get regular service, that when it becomes a situation like that, it can weigh on them and they start missing chances. I agree with you. I still agree with you. I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I think striker is more of a mental thing. I think if he was getting chances day in and day out, game in and game out, I think there'd be a lot less sitters that have been missed from Gyökeres because of the system. But I don't disagree with you. There have been times where there's nowhere else to look, but it is Gyökeres' fault for not scoring. I definitely agree with that as well. I think it's a two-way street on that argument. For the North, and now somebody, I think Mr. Pods put this in here. The only breakdown of Tudor's style is he plays 3-4-3. That's it. He plays 3-4-3. He will risk somebody playing out of position or not playing to their true brand of football for the best way for a player to play. I mean, Locatelli, before Tudor got there and even before with Allegri, Locatelli was a number 8 and they moved him to being a holding 6 role, which he was garbage for 3 years because that's not the position that he plays. So I wouldn't doubt that he does something stupid like that when it comes to Spurs. The only question about Tudor when it comes to his formation is the front 3. Is it going to be a 10 with two strikers, or is it going to be 2 floating number 10s around a striker? That's really the only question. His low block is mid. His defense isn't even that good because Juve's defense was shit while he was there. Me personally, I would not be shocked if Tudor got Spurs relegated. Would not be shocked whatsoever if Tudor got Spurs relegated. I don't think a lot of people realize how shit of a manager this guy is. He's absolute dog shit. When we look at the fixtures for Arsenal coming up, we got Chelsea, we got Brighton away, we got Chelsea at home, and then we play Everton, and then we have the League Cup. If it comes to a situation where we drop points with Spurs, that Chelsea game becomes 10 times a bigger problem than what it already is. Now, for me, Chelsea on its own does not scare me. I don't think Chelsea is that good. The problem is that Chelsea's been very inconsistent when you look at it. Let's say that we go into the North London derby and we draw. How tough does this schedule become at the fact that we got Chelsea, we have Brighton, who historically has given us problems, and to round that off, we then roll right into the League Cup going on from there. If we drop points to Spurs, do you think that now this is just going to be this pattern that we've seen in the past where we've had, like before, we had the West Ham and Aston Villa week where we lost both and City went on. We had in 22-23 the 1 win in 7, and that was more so the changing of taking Trossard out of the lineup and going to Jesus. Do you think if we draw, or even worse, lose, but if we draw Spurs, do you think that it's just the end and now we're just waiting to see how the rest of the season goes, or do you think there's still a chance to fight back before that League Cup? Sammy, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think that will be over. I mean, you should go and focus on other things. Go focus on the UCL. Go focus on the FA Cup. Not to say that, okay, you throw the towel, that means go and lose all the games. But I think the mental element will be a factor here. The pressure will just, it's going to be a huge amount of pressure and it will mount up on the player and Arteta. And they'll not be able to, to handle it, in my opinion. And I think, if you're gonna F up the league, then at least try to win other things, win the trophies, win the domestic cups, and have a go in the UCL. Throw all the eggs in that basket of the UCL. You never know. You might do a Liverpool, where they won the UCL a season and then they went and win the league the next season. So if we win the UCL, I'm sure all the panelists here are going to be so happy about the UCL. It's a big trophy, and we've never won it in our history, so I would bank on that. I mean, that's what I would have done if I was Arteta and the league is just over, because I think Pep is just that good. I rate Pep. I think Pep is that good when it comes to league titles and races. He's been there many times. He's won 7 out of 10 or the last decade. So
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
So it's a remarkable record. He has a 4P. I mean, it's understandable that Pep will do whatever he needs to do to win it, because he never, and this is statistically true, that he never went 2 seasons in a row without winning a league at Barca, at Bayern, and also with City. So it's just a testament to how good Pep is, and we have to concede to that. That's all I gotta say. I mean, there's no shame to say that team is better than us, you know.
On that, really quick before I go to Waffle, if he wins let's say he wins the Champions League, but he bottles the rest of the trophies, do you continue with him as the manager? And if so, for how many more years?
I would look. I've been asked that question. If he wins the league or the UCL, would he keep Arteta or not? Personally, I would keep him unless replacing him with a better manager. And for me, the better managers out there to replace somebody who just won you the league or the UCL is either Pep or Enrique. So if Enrique is available, I'll still get Enrique instead, because I think Enrique is a better manager than Arteta. Way better. He's a treble winner. So
okay. Waffle, same thing to you, my guy. If we lose or draw to Tottenham.
We're losing now, yeah? First it was draw, now it's losing.
If we lose or draw, but we can keep it just a draw. If we draw Tottenham, do you think the season's over? And from there, do you look at it the same way that you go look at the other trophies and try to secure as many trophies as possible because you think the league's over with? Or where's your mind at with that?
My mind's at that we should be competing for every single trophy, every single season.
Okay.
So this isn't over. I know like we're all down in the dumps and stuff, yeah, but it's mathematically it isn't over. Yeah, Pep is great and all that kind of stuff, yeah, but are we conceding right now? Are we going to concede right now? Because
I think if City pass us, they're not giving it back up.
Yeah, that's a different argument, but I can't concede right now, and I can't just say it now. I can't say it. I just don't want to say it, because this is 3 years of embarrassment. 3 years of embarrassment. Well, Liverpool really they kind of ran away with it, didn't they? It's over. It's done. Terminato. Yeah, I just don't want to. I just don't want to admit. I just don't want to admit it, bro. I just can't do it right. I just can't right now. Drawings, but the question was drawing, wasn't it?
Yes.
If we draw, okay. So if we draw to Spurs, definitely. But let's look back, yeah, to the games like Forest, to the Liverpool games, to all those type of games. Did we? And if we do not get over the line, it'll be those games. It won't be. It's not the Spurs game.
Yep.
It's the Forest game, the Liverpool game, the Man United game. Those are the games, yeah, you can look back at
Wolves,
and say
Brentford.
That's where Wolves, Brentford. Those are the games where we messed up.
Yep.
So this game, are you asking me like, it's probably definitely over, I suppose, with this Spurs game, isn't it? It's definitely going to be like probably over. I can't see City slipping up to many teams. I can see them drawing, but I can also see us drawing as well. So it's just not looking good right now, man. It's not looking good, man.
If say the scenario that Sammy says happens, if we bottle the league, but somehow we go on and win the Champions League, if you keep Arteta, are you keeping him for 1 year and saying, okay, go back and try to win the league one more time? And if you don't, you let him go after a year, or are you giving him a longer time to be able to prove himself if he pulled off the Champions League?
Well, firstly, I don't think he's winning the Champions League, so it's hard for me to think beyond that. But if he does win if he were to win a Champions League, obviously he should be given another season. Although in my heart, I don't really want him there. You know what I mean? Unless he's going to change up his. There's got to be conditions in it
Mhm.
for him to stay. Yes, he's okay. He's won the Champions League, so that's his. That's his 1 year contract, I suppose. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I need a guarantee. Yeah. Of more expansive football as well. So that's going to be in the contract going forward. I want to see more expansive football. I want the crowds to be entertained. Yeah. Under
Mhm.
those conditions that he gets to stay. But of course, if he wins a Champions League, come on. That's a first for the club's history. I wouldn't deny him not having that. You know what I'm saying? That amount, that length of time. But as I said, this is all hindsight and scenarios, and I just don't. Listen. I know the Champions League is one of those lotteries where you get a specific team you go through, but I don't know, man. I don't know if we're up for getting to the final. Semi-final we got there last season. Can we get to a final? Can we win it? I don't know. I really don't know, bro. I really don't know.
Okay. Jay, same thing to you. If we draw Spurs, do you think the league is done? And if it is, if you're going to put all your eggs in a basket for the different, not all your eggs, but you're going to go for the different trophies. And like I said before, the waffle, like I gave to, and what Sammy said, if he does somehow lose the league, doesn't walk away with any trophies, but he walks away with the Champions League, are you giving him another year, or are you giving him more years than just one because he won the champs?
So regarding if we draw against Spurs, I would say if we draw, City beat Newcastle. For me, man, at that point, yeah, I would definitely say it swings undoubtedly in their favor. If he wins only the Champions League, I think he should walk, bro. I think he should walk. I think if he wins the Champions League, he should acknowledge that that's as far as he's going to get the team, the club. That's just my opinion. I just don't think he would be able to top winning. If he somehow wins the Champions League, I don't think he'll be able to replicate it. So I would just say, I'm saying be a man of honor. He's not a man of honor, but I'm saying if he would be honorable, then he would walk away from it. If I was in charge, i.e. Kroenkes, no, I guess you wouldn't remove him because he's achieved one objective. And then financially, he's just going to bring in more revenue because they're just looking at it from a commercial perspective. And then Josh can say, "Hey, Daddy, look, we won the Champions League," because that's all he's trying to prove is his dad, right? So, yeah, I think, yeah, bro, I think the problem with Arteta is the long-term damage that's being done. Like systemically, if you look at the split in the fan base, is very toxic, bro. Like people, I remember like the AKBs and the WOB days, like Arsenal knows best and the Wenger out brigade kind of thing. And I used to think that was pretty toxic, but this is different, bro. I think the mentality behind what I see with a lot of people who defend Arteta is it's like a cult kind of angle, to be honest, if I'm genuine, like some of the stuff and the mentality that I see. So yeah, bro, I think even if he wins the Champions League, I think he should walk, bro, because I doubt he would replicate it, to be honest. Madrid are going to be stronger, Barca are going to be stronger, Atleti will get stronger, PSG, Man City, United, Liverpool. Liverpool going to have Isak and Ekatike up front next season. I mean, people forget
But
about things.
does he have to replicate winning a Champions League, which no one has ever done, in Arsenal history? That's just like Arsene Wenger winning doing the Invincible. That's the type of level we're talking about. I'm not even defending the guy, by the way. I'm not one of them type of thing. But for you to say, oh, maybe he needs to leave and that, you think he's not entitled to have another year to stay at least by winning that?
No, I mean, I hear it. No, I hear it. It's just, I think he should walk if he wins the Champions League, because I think he can leave it he can walk away in a great position. It's like when Wenger reached a certain point, Arsene did damage to himself by staying on. And I think that if Arsene, because it also, if we look at the power dynamic that Arteta has, we can draw similarities to Arsene.
Yeah.
And I'm saying from more that perspective. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be given a year if he wins the Champions League. I just think for all parties, based on everything that we've seen, what's happened, where we've been in the league, if then now he drops out of everything, wins the Champions League, I just think, yeah, it would be best for everybody. Like, okay, you did it, kind of thing.
Going out on a high as well.
Yeah, go out on a high, definitely. I mean, that's always a challenge, though, isn't it? I guess if you're that successful of that ilk, then it's difficult to replicate. But then we are Arsenal, and I think we've not been at the level that we should be at, and perhaps we should be in the mentality of succeeding and expectation that, okay, we won the Champions League. Okay, maybe we can't replicate it directly, but maybe we can do very well the following season. We can do a domestic treble, something like that. I'm talking about replicating it in a strong manner in terms of winning trophies. And I just don't think Arteta could do it, to be honest, if he wins this Champions League, just based on what I've seen. I think it might be a luck thing if he wins the Champions League this season, to be honest.
I honestly think if he wins the Champions League, you give him another year. But like Waffledon said, he is going to be on the shortest of leashes. If there is a beginning point of the season where we have 5 inconsistent games where we start dropping points at the beginning, he's going to get sacked immediately. And at that point, it is what it is with the season. That's my opinion.
Don't you think we're playing very well in the Champions League? I mean, we've beaten Bayern, we've beaten Atletico, we've beaten Inter Milan.
Beginning phase is one thing. Beginning phase is one thing.
It's the knockout phases. That's what counts.
Knockout stages in the
I assume
but yeah, we haven't played well.
I assume he carries on the same during the knockout stage, the round 16th and the quarter and semifinal, and we do win, let's say, convincingly. You guys don't think he has it in his locker to play expansive football or to play attacking football? And it's just the league that he's, I don't know, being so conservative because of Pep.
Here's my thing. One, nothing is a guarantee in the Champions League because, again, how many times have we seen Real Madrid look shit and magically they turn it on? I mean, the one that they won with Ancelotti, they were losing every single tie going into the second half, and the heritage magic that Madrid has kicks in, and they went on to win.
Yeah,
and even the second final when they went up against, I think Dortmund was the second one. Dortmund should have been up 3-0 in the first half. And the heritage magic then kicks in. My whole thing with Arsenal in the Champions League is this. I don't think Arsenal can win the Champions League because I look at us similar to the way Chelsea and City were. Chelsea and City built that foundation of winning trophies year in and year out that eventually got them over the hump to get into the Champions League. That's the reason why I'm not convinced with Champions League. Plus, it's a situation of the flip side is, to play devil's advocate, if he did win the Champions League and that unlocks the mental block for the players and himself, yes, that could potentially lead him to go on to win more trophies. That's why I say that if he was to win, you get the extra year. But if the slightest thing starts the direction pointing back to what we're seeing right now, don't care what the scenario is, you got to go. Because then it's a situation of you played your luck, you hit it, but now your luck's run out, and we can't afford to go through another season of playing luck and potentially losing it to where it could go real south real bad. That's why I'm saying if he was to win, you give him another year, but you're on the shortest of leash. If you come out the next year and you play the same brand of boring, pragmatic football, scoring one goal, sitting back, letting some bullshit bottom feeder team dictate 20 to 30 minutes of the game against you, I'm sorry, you would have to go immediately. That's what I'm leading to. If he does win, like I said, I think winning I think if he was still able to win the League Cup, that may be the unlocking factor of us going on to win the league still.
Hopefully.
Because I think that's part of the mental block. You know, it's a different story. Again, none of us, Arteta would have much more room to wiggle out of the situations and stuff if he was winning trophies along the way. There wouldn't be as much pressure on him. And I'll be honest with you, I think it would be easier for us to manage the league and everything else had we already have the experience of winning. The problem is we haven't done that. So it's a two-sided thing. I think if he wins the Champions League, he should be given an extra year, but short leash. If you don't win the Champions League, like say he does the domestic cup double, thank you. I appreciate you adding some more trophies to the cabinet, but you can't stay. I'm not taking a gamble. I'm not taking a gamble again because you won 2 domestic trophies, which you should have won leading up to this season beforehand. And I'm not going to go down the path of possibly forking over another 150 to 250 million pounds in a transfer window again. I'm not doing it. I'd rather bring in somebody with fresh ideas to try to uplift the bench that way, as we've seen different managers have been able to do that and go that route. If it's the domestic cups, if it's the Champions League, yes, you get to stay. We see what you do. We'll even give you a little bit more money just because you won the Champions League. You're the first ever to do that. You earn that right because you're the first one ever to do that. Like I said, if we go out here and give you a 200 million, we get you an Alvarez and maybe one other top tier player. But now Alvarez's playing ability and everything is starting to look like shit. And it's following the same track record with all the other offensive players that we've had in the first 2 months. Sorry, I'm sacking your ass right then and there. And I'm not even going to entertain a full season with you. That's the way that I would approach it. Yeah, Waffle, I saw.
Yeah. I just wanted to say something about this winning the Champions League. Yeah.
Real quick, Waffle. Sammy's got a
bounce. I'll be really quick. Yeah. Big up, Sammy. Yeah. Big up. I still think that big up, man. I still think that we've got a mental block, yeah, with teams like Man City and Liverpool as well. So I can't see us winning the Champions League for a start. A lot of us are already shitting ourselves going to Etihad already. Yeah. A lot of us are shitting ourselves going to this final to play City. City has this thing over us, this control over us, like Arteta. Yeah, City has this control. Pep has this inner, I don't know, these inner kind of mental things with us, yeah. So all of this, like, if we win the champ, I just cannot see it. Especially a 2-legged round against a City or Liverpool. I can't see us going through. I can't see it.
I don't either.
No, I don't. I think Waffle as an extension of that, bro. Another thing is when people say it based on our form, but Liverpool, everybody was like, this Slot is the greatest manager. He's unreal. Look what he did last season. Then we saw what happened to them in the Champions League. Every single person was sure that Liverpool are going to get the Champions League last season, just based on how they were doing in the Premier League. And then they went out when they went out. So it's, as you said, it's a different beast, man. It's not for the faint-hearted, and we're struggling, domestically, which I would argue is slightly easier maybe to win the Premier League maybe than the Champions League. I think the mentality and the prestige of it, and that's over a longer period of time as well, where you can drop and then still pick up. Whereas in a knockout game, if you're poor over 2 games, we're completely, or even one game, I mean, we're completely finished. And teams just turn up in the Champions League, and I think, yes, we played Bayern, yes, we played Atleti, but we were also, shall we say, we were in a better fitness feeling as a club. We weren't where we are now, so that high intensity, I've not seen it. We didn't do that against Wolves. I've not seen it. We didn't against Brentford and stuff like that. Brentford looked like they were going for the title, not us, to be honest. Genuinely, like, so. Yeah,
that's the problem, and that's the problem.
Like, Wolves, people can't dismiss our fitness issues.
Wolves, the last 20 minutes of the game looked like they were the team going for the title instead of
exactly.
Us. And Wolves, and the worst part about Wolves was they managed to score 2 goals against us when their best striker just got sold to Palace.
Yeah.
You're talking about the scrubs. You're talking about the scrubs of the fucking scrubs on that team.
Correct.
And they managed to pull it out. No, I'm with you. I think it's the mental block again. That's why I'm pointing to, I don't think we could be the best looking team in the world right now. I still wouldn't put money on Arsenal to win the Champions League because, again,
No.
the only thing that we can all agree on with the Champions League, we've all seen the heritage kick in. The only difference with PSG is PSG just did what I said about City and Chelsea. PSG has been racking up trophies in France this last decade since the money came in.
Mhm.
Their problem with their previous team was they had 3 prima donnas up top that don't do any type of work to aid out their team in Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar. They got rid of those guys. They got Vara, Dembele, Doué, and Barcola to replace them. They do extra work to help out the midfield and going forward than what Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe did. And because they've grown and they've won titles, they have now the lineage to go on and win. They have the ability to go on and win because they know what it takes to get over the line. That's the reason why they've been able to do this. So for me, that's why I think Arsenal is not why Arsenal's not going to do it. To this question that Chronic put in, if you mentally cannot win the Premier League, what makes you think you can win a trophy you never won? Facts. That's the reason why I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. For me, I could see Chelsea or Liverpool, even with the shit form that they've been in, possibly fucking going on to win because they have the heritage.
Yeah.
Heritage kicks in for teams at random times. We've all seen it.
Chelsea know how to scam trophies. We all know it. Chelsea know how to scam
So does
trophies.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Does Liverpool.
Yeah,
That Liverpool team that beat that AC Milan in 05 is legitimately the worst team I've ever seen win the Champions League. But because Liverpool, player for player, that is one of the worst teams to win the Champions League. But because it's Liverpool and they have the heritage to that trophy, that's why they were able to pull it out.
Mentality.
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's the reason why I have the issue that I have the issue with. The reason why I have the issue with people saying, "Oh, Arsenal have a shot." I'm sorry, I don't. I don't think so.
That's what I think. No.
Listen, this is a big if because what happened was a disgrace that they lost to Bodo Glimt. But I'm actually, for Arsenal's sake, if we land on that side, it's good because I think Arsenal should be taking Bodo Glimt to the fucking cleaners.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
if somehow Inter turns it around in the San Siro and blows the doors off of Bodo Glimt, and they're 100% healthy, and we draw them in the next round, as a betting man, I'm laying money on Inter over Arsenal. I'm sorry, I am. I'm trusting a team that has been to 2 out of the last 3 Champions League finals, no matter if they lost it or not. I'm betting on that team to know what it takes to get over a 2-legged affair, especially in the state that Inter's getting ready to run away with the Serie A, especially now that Milan just tied. They're going to be running away with the Serie A. And now the fact that they'll be running away, they can rotate players in Italy and rest up for the big games in Europe, which is why I would be concerned of Arsenal running into those teams. Same thing. And I'll say this, if we get the flip side, I don't want us to run into Real Madrid.
No.
All the shit talking, a lot of these fans were talking towards Real Madrid. They're going to keep that in the memory bank. And especially with what just recently happened with Benfica, they're going to galvanize themselves as a unit to go and smash everybody in front of them, especially for that trophy, because that is their trophy. I do not want to run into Real Madrid, not after what happened with Benfica, and not after the fact that they're starting to get their groove going. Because Barca's been dropping points. Madrid could be very well starting to run away with La Liga as well. And it's not something that I want to run into.
No, it's true. It's true. And I think as well, as an extension of that, Gianni, other teams like your Bayern's, I mean, I know people saying Dortmund back in it. We know Bayern are going to win the league and they're going to have a points gap and they'll be well rested for the Champions League. Atleti, they're only going to go for Copa del Rey and Champions League now because they're out of the league as well. So these teams are going to be rested. I don't think people are looking at like our performances, but they're not deeping genuinely the fatigue of our players. Like our players look dead, bro. Like it's like we're in game 37 already, kind of thing, and that's only going to get worse when we go into more high pressure games. I don't know where people think this adrenaline is going to kick in and it's going to be everlasting. It's not a sustainable model. And I think that's the other thing that just concerns me, bro, generally, like the fatigue of the players, and injury after injury, and this knock, that knock. Even Gokares, I mean, I think he missed like 2 games maybe at Sporting, and he's already missed. He was out for a couple of weeks, and that's him, you know, just coming in. So, no, bro. I'm concerned. I think the fatigue and the injury thing is also a concern to me in the long term. And other clubs are better managing their players. Even Pep, you know, Pep's still rotating, and now everybody's coming back and they're getting ready to run at us, and we're looking dead on our feet, bro. Come on, man. What's gonna happen? What else is gonna happen?
Yeah, that's part of it, and that's why what you said as far as the long-term damage with Arteta, I hear it, because the long-term damage and the worry is if Arteta doesn't win the Premier League or the Champions League this year, if he doesn't win one of the majors, that we move him on. The question for the next manager is, what is he really working with coming in? Because you have a World Cup coming up in the summer. A lot of these players are supposed to be playing. There's going to be no time for them to rest. And now you're going to be questioning with a shortened offseason to get players ready to run it back again. You don't know what injuries you're walking into.
Correct.
Again, I've said this the last 2 games. Rice is limping. Watch Rice going up to the corners. He's limping. Timber, when he's going over to throw the ball in, is limping.
Timber
Saliba doesn't look the same. Waffle, we've said it in our conversations off camera that Saliba doesn't look the same and that he looks injured. Him bringing the ball up, he looks like he's jogging because he's nursing an injury. So that's I hear with what you're saying as far.
But this is what top managers do, though, Johnny. Yeah, it's like they make players better. So the players that we got, who we think are the top players, they can make players that are not that great into better players, and they can utilize squads better than Arteta. Experience, don't underestimate experience with these top guys. I hear what you're saying with the injuries and stuff like that, but maybe he will assess the situation and Rice, you're not playing. You're not playing for 5-6 games. Yeah, and actually, I'm going to play you in your rightful position, and that's a DM. So you know what? You ain't gonna be running up the pitch like a crazy man. These managers know what to do. I bet you, Enrique, he's probably got like a dossier down if we were to interview him, how he would go about his tactics and plan and stuff like that.
Definitely.
This guy, listen, Arteta is a rookie. This is his first job as a manager, and he's showing mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Yes, he's done well in certain situations. I'm not going to say he's done poorly for everything, but you can see the lack of experience with this manager, and he's done well to this point. But every time he only gets to this point, and then it just goes like that. A top manager comes in and is like that. It's like that. That is like that.
Controversial question: has he really done well? Or is it the fact of the matter that he's been giving £1 billion to spend is the reason why that he's done well? Because I'd argue this, and I say this all the time. If you give Wenger a quarter of what he had, if you give Wenger £250 million, the season that RVP goes, and you still bring in Podolski, you bring in all those guys, you don't sell Van Persie and you show the ambition. If you give Wenger a sliver, Wenger walks away with more Premier League trophies. My whole thing with Arteta is people say, oh, look where we've come from and all this. Brother, £1 billion open checkbook, a lot of managers would have already won 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe more trophies with £1 billion spent with an open checkbook like that. And that's also what you're saying as him being a rookie manager and learning on the job. Not rotating and everything, to your point, shows that he's a rookie manager.
But also as well, Gianni, the point is the quality of players that you're bringing in as well. You can bring in much better players than what we have for £1 billion.
Yes, that's where I'm going.
Look at some of the players. The players we brought in, the Kais, the Maduekis. Who else? A lot of
this team is like
a lot of the team.
Kai Havertz was 65 million, has been spent 60 million twice. Kai Havertz
and Ketia was on 100 grand.
Yeah,
Jesus injured. These guys 100k on Nketiah. We've just had dross in our team. Yeah, you think a top manager is gonna really just sit with these type of players? Come on, man.
No, and that's my whole point. Is that he got an open checkbook for £1 billion, and
Yeah.
the old saying, he's throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. That's what he's done.
Yeah.
No competent manager, here. We could run down the list of all the top managers and even the ones that are international. You could take Ancelotti, Tuchel, Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola. None of those guys are going to go and say, you know what? The failed wonder kid, Gabby Jesus, who's better out on the wing, I'm going to spend 50 some odd million pounds and pay him 200,000 pounds a week to be a false nine, when we all saw the manager who gets the best out of false nines and Pep Guardiola not get the best out of him. No one's going to do that. No one is going to go and buy Zinchenko for however many millions of pounds we spent money on him to be a left back and kick him out 2 years later for other left backs that didn't work. Again, that's kind of what I'm alluding to. We're saying the same thing. Arteta has gotten to where he's gotten because he had an open checkbook. He was able to make the decisions. If you had a different manager, again, here we could make the argument right now with what he did with Villa. What do you think Unai Emery would have been able to do if he got another 200 million added on top of what he had?
True.
He got us in a European Cup final the first year. Yes, he bottled. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to sit here and make up false story because, again, revisionist history is not true history. Unai Emery bottled the league 4 weeks out before the league was actually over. We didn't make Champions League because we lost in the Europa League final. We didn't make Champions League because of the fact that we fucked up in the league. We should have finished 4th or 3rd that season and still walked away with the Europa League title. That's what should have been the goal with Emery. We bottled it before that. But Emery, with what we're seeing him do at Aston Villa, if you legitimately gave Emery another 2 to 250 million pounds to go and round out his team, I would argue that Emery would have at least a League Cup and maybe 2 FA Cups if he was given 3 years on top of that. I would argue that we would have some domestic trophies and that we would be looking at maybe, okay, he's gotten 3 trophies. We're consistently top 4. Maybe now we give him some more money that we've had saved in the bank. Let's see him if this little bit more money now turns us into serial contenders for the league. Maybe we're not 3rd or 4th. Now we're jumping over Liverpool and City in 2nd place. Okay, now you've done that. You've picked up more domestic trophies. Now he needs a little bit more money. I personally think Arteta's in this position because he was just given an open spigot of money. And let's be honest, the rest of the league fell off the fucking planet. Chelsea's not the same team it once was. I mean, Chelsea's clutching their straws with some of these fucking young kids because some of these guys they have are bums. Let's be honest. Gittins is a bum. I'm not a believer in Gittins. Neto's he's a good dribbler, but there's no end product to him. But Palmer on his day's good, but we're talking about Palmer damn near being 2 years out of form.
I like Palmer. I still like him.
I like him too.
He's been off form.
But he's been off form. Because, like, for me, that's why that initial question when I said if you were to swap out 5 players to bring in, like, for me, if you told me I could only get 2 players, I'm bringing Yildiz at left wing or whoever for left wing, and Rodgers is my number 1 choice for the new number 10. Whatever Aston Villa wants, pay it in advance. If you're telling me Morgan Rodgers is 100 million pounds, I'm depositing the 100 million pounds in April, putting a hold on his ass, and he's going to be a new Arsenal player.
Yeah, I hear it. But all I would say to that, Gianni, is the manager must go. Because the way that Rodgers is, his explosive nature, Arteta's going to be like, nope, you're not doing that, bro. And then we're going to be like, oh, man, we're back in the same thing. But
No,
but Gianni, I appreciate you, bro. I've got to run, man. I literally said 15 minutes. It's been like an hour and something.
Yeah, I'm going to run as well, man. I'm absolutely shattered, bro. I'm going to run myself. Listen.
Yeah, John, but big up, man.
Waffle, I hope you're having a good Ramadan, my guy.
Definitely. Yeah, man. It's all good, man. But listen, we'll catch up in it.
Yep.
Take it.
Mux, appreciate you
Thanks.
hopping on, my guy. Appreciate you.
No,
stopping
no
by.
doubt, bro. Thanks for the invite, bro.
Peace, bro.
Yep.
Peace.
Thanks.
No problem. Macy.
Yeah, what's up, Gianni, my man?
So here's the question that I posed to these guys when you stepped away. If you could choose a new manager, who would you choose? And if I gave you 5 positions, 5 players you could swap out, and you would bring 5 players in, who would you bring in?
So a manager and 5 new players.
5 new players and 5
Mhm.
players from this squad that you would push out. Who would you go and get?
So for my manager choice, I'll probably maybe say Enrique.
Okay.
Because for me, like Enrique's always been my number one choice ever since Emery left Arsenal. He, Ancelotti, or Allegri have been my choices for Arsenal. So if I had to choose who my manager is, it's Enrique. So for my 5 new players, I would probably maybe say we may need another left back because we need to fuck Calafiori off. He's just not good enough to be left back.
Agreed.
Yeah. And I don't know if Encampie is gonna stay because apparently we're looking to sign him on the permanent move, but I don't know if he's gonna stay because if we don't win this Premier League, he might leave as well because we've loaned him from Leverkusen for 1 season. So we need another left back. And I'm not sure, like I'm not even sure like who in another league is a top left back, but there is somebody that I believe should be our new left back, and his name is Federico Di Marco.
From Inter. I said him. I said for my left back, I would look at him, Carlos Augusto, or Nuno Mendes from PSG. If I had to choose, although I do like the Turkish kid from Brighton, I think he's a good fullback. That Kadioglu.
Ferdi Kalagulu something.
Yeah, he's
good.
I wouldn't be mad at him.
Top left back, yeah. So DeMarco, Augusto, or the Turkish guy the Turkish kid from Brighton, Kugluglu, something like that. One of them should be our new left back for next season. We need to replace I think we need to replace Trossard because for me, like I just think Trossard is just like when I see him on the floor holding his head in his face, I just feel to myself, is he actually injured or is he just pretending to be injured so that we can waste so much time and nick the win? So for me, like I just think Trossard. When I see his expression, I just think this is a guy for me that I just think he's not enjoying Arsenal at the moment. Like the best of Trossard was the fact that we bought him in the January of 2023, and he was bagging in goals for fun. But this manager benched him, and ever since then, like Trossard he kept using Trossard on the bench every single time, and now this season he's using him as a regular. But him and Martinelli are pushing for starts, so like we need somebody to cover in for Trossard if he is actually leaving. So if I had to choose who my next right winger would be, I would probably maybe say, oh wow, this is a very tough decision. If I had to.
Would you look at this Harry Wilson as what Arteta hate university?
Harry Wilson could be a good option, but the thing is,
I'd take him as a bench player. I don't think he's good enough to start on the big level yet. I'm not one of these types of guys that gets hyped up over 1 year.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you, Gianni.
I said Güler. I said Güler from
yeah.
Real
Even
well.
I wanted Güler as well. He's a top baller at Real Madrid, but you know the fan base they're getting. You know the fan base are getting a bit giddy with Saka. Like they still think they still don't think Güler is the answer. But
I said Saka should go. He was one of my guys that I said I would ship out.
Yeah, of course.
I don't buy into this whole 300,000 pounds. He brought us back.
Yeah,
He brought us back from what? He brought us back from what? He
100%.
hasn't won.
This is why I just don't know why we keep giving Saka these contracts. Like, for what purpose? Until Saka shows us what he can do, then you can think to yourself, you can give him a contract. But until then, Saka needs to perform better. How can you give this guy a contract if he's not performing well? This is what I don't understand with this football club. Arsenal just want to hand out contracts to anybody like it's Christmas or Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. That's why I said I don't know. Harry Wilson's doing good.
Yeah.
Arteta hate University, but I'm not willing to risk a starting position on somebody that is starting to look good. I'd rather take the risk of paying more money with another year down the road and seeing him replicate it again next year. And if another big team wants to buy him, then it is what it is. There's a plethora, despite what a lot of people think, there is a lot of good wingers out across European football. It's just the question is, like here, Chronic just said this too. Diamonde at Leipzig is a baller, although I would say I would stay away from making purchases from Leipzig because a lot of their players have been shady purchases that Leipzig's been reeling in the cash and not really they haven't been living up. I mean, Sesko is scoring some goals recently, but it is what it is. For me, like I said, I would like Güler. If I couldn't get Güler, I'll be honest with you, Macy, you may know the guy. I like that Yunus Akgün kid from Galatasaray.
I've seen him play. Like he's a top baller there. So I think we should go get him because for me, he and the rest of Galatasaray, they absolutely pulverized Juventus 5-2. So yeah, I mean, this would be good if we take Yunus Akgün to our football club.
Hey, Jesus Rodriguez, that's a shout, Byron. He has been doing okay for Como. I think he needs a little bit more end product. Dribbling wise, he's been phenomenal for Como. If I'm going to look at anybody though from Como, if I was going to stop him from going back to Real Madrid, I would take Nico Paz in a heartbeat. I think Nico Paz is playing some good ball. I like him a lot. But
100%. I would take Nico Paz as well. Yeah, and also we need another backup striker for Gyökeres because Jesus and Havertz aren't going to be at this football club for long. They're going to leave, and also the captain is leaving as well. So that's good for us. We need to get all three of these scrubs out of our club immediately, Gianni, because we can't keep carrying on with these three guys. Like these three guys offer nothing for us. Like Jesus when I saw the full-time whistle, why is Jesus like when I see Jesus punching up this Mosquera guy, why didn't he do it at the start of the match? He did it at the Jesus he just wants to show that he cares for Arsenal, but in reality he doesn't. He just only wants to do it for the cameras and for like anybody watching him from their mobile phones and on their social media platforms. So this is who Jesus is.
And to keep his spot, because he knows all these guys know that the party's over and that the hammer's coming down if we walk away. If we walk away with the domestic cup double, all these guys know they're still walking away. The only way that they are staying is if we win one of the majors.
Yeah, I mean, we are still top of the table, but we are only just 58 points behind in front of Man City. But I'm worried that if City win their game tomorrow and if we drop points to Tottenham, I think our title challenge is looking a bit dark now. We're not going to beat Tottenham, but we just might as well draw to them because, like you said, Gianni, Igor Chota for me is he's not an elite manager, but he's a manager that is just he's just a hips, he's just somebody that is
No, I hear it. I hear it. Definitely not Pickford.
Yeah, me
Emi
neither.
Martinez maybe, but even Emi Martinez has been off his game as well. I
Yeah,
think the problem again, I put this down to the manager.
yeah,
Raya is a good shot stopper. There's no denying it. Raya is a very good shot stopper. That
100%. Yeah.
my thing is that I think the whole reason why that situation with Gabby and Raya has happened is because of the fact that these guys are starting to crack under pressure. And when teams crack and fold under pressure, you see stupid shit like this happening. And that's happened throughout the history of football. It's not just Arsenal. You've seen this happen. You've seen stuff like that happen here. When Napoli smoked Juventus 5-1, when Napoli was going on to win their first Scudetto with Spalletti and having Vada and Osimhen, when they were smoking teams and the teams that were continually challenging, they had stupid mistakes. Inter had stupid mistakes in them that year. Milan had stupid mistakes in them in that year. It happens across the board. That to me is the reason why I think there's something going on in the locker room that is causing a lot of these problems within why you're seeing a lot of this stupid shit go on.
Yeah.
As far as what you're saying, Prom, Teo Hernandez, the problem with Teo Hernandez is there's absolutely no defending with him. If we had a manager, like say we brought in Simone Inzaghi, I'd be more fine with getting a guy like Hernandez because he's going to be a wing back rather than a fullback. Now, unless you're going to bring in a manager, like I said before, if you're going to bring a manager who basically is just going to have one fullback run wild, and then you're going to have the other fullback basically sit as another center back, then maybe I could take Teo Hernandez into account because he can score goals and get in. But I don't think that he's the right guy for me right now. I think like Macy said, for me, if I want somebody like that, the guy who's been more consistent at a higher level than him is DeMarco. I'm taking DeMarco to run wild and get in the offense, or even Carlos Augusto, because Augusto can play defense as well. So I'd rather have somebody like that than Hernandez. But if we had a strong enough defense to do that, I'd be fine. Calafiori's a wild horse. Calafiori's a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
The fact that you can't take a nut shot, to keep a ball out shows that you're not worth the time of Arsenal football.
Yeah, this is due to the fact that this manager brought him on for a khaki. This is why, because Arteta favors Calafiori because he believes that he believes that Calafiori can get something out of the squad, but in reality, he's just somebody that can fuck about as well. So when he absolutely had a howler for that equalizing goal. Lee Gunner was absolutely cooking him, and big up to Lee Gunner as well. He was absolutely cooking up Calafiori, and rightly so, because we now start to see who this guy really is, because he is not a left back. He has never ever played as a left back in his life. His main position is a centre back, but this manager believes that he can just do whatever the hell he can just do what his mentor Pep is doing and do all this kind of inverting stuff, which is just not good enough. Because if he wants to learn from Pep, then he needs to watch more of Pep's videos, like learn something from Pep. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, 100%. 100%. I don't understand why there's any conversation or looking at Pep in the first place. Be your own guy.
Yeah.
Be your own player. RSV, I said this on Shane Gooner's member stream. I agree with you 100%. I think in 2 years, we're going to be having a conversation about Saka the same way and looking at possibly doing the same thing that we did with Aubameyang, either sending him out on loan or buying out his contract because he's just not living up to the expectation for £300,000 a week. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
He does have explosive pace, Prom. I don't disagree with you with that. But the thing with me again with Hernandez is Hernandez had that one-off season that AC Milan won the title, and he never lived up to that hype. Since then, he's looked okay at times, but for me, there's not enough consistency with him. With what you were saying with Alphonso Davies, I'd rather deal with Alphonso Davies than Teo Hernandez, if I'm being quite honest with you. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. First team, he's a left back, really good defense. Okay, Victor Valdepenas. Okay, I'm gonna say that. Thanks, Byron. I did not know that. It's somebody who I'm gonna have to look into and look at from there. I got a couple of these other ones that I need to get into. Give me 1 sec. 1 sec. Yeah, Jesus Rodriguez. I think Jesus Rodriguez is a damn good baller, Byron. I agree with you. Cesc, you know what it is? Cesc Fabregas is getting into a situation now where he's trying to overthink it and I don't know why, because he's been doing so well playing that 4-2-3-1. I don't understand why he's tinkering with this formation and now going to this 3-4-3 nonsense. I don't know. At the same time, I'll be completely honest with you. I think Cesc Fabregas needs to go to another team where there's not as much money getting funneled in a bullshit way, the way Como's doing it, and see where he really is as a manager. Yeah. If he goes to another team, a same size team as Como, or maybe even a little bit bigger of a team where there's not as much money coming in, I don't think Cesc is what everybody really thinks he is for me. So yeah. I think Cesc, we have to wait and see where he's at. I'm not ready to do that.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Arsenal owners listen to fans, though. Like, let's assume he wins the Champions League. That gives him 1 extra year minimum, even if you go trophyless the following season. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, if he wins the Champions League, he gets 1 more year. But if you go trophyless the following season, you have to sack him. And like I said, for me, like I said with that, when I was giving the option, if you're going to say, if he went on to win the Champions League, it buys him another year. However, if you won the Champions League, but you come back the following season, you play the same haram ball, and then it's starting off the season like that, I'm sacking you immediately because you're not going to get a full season for me to risk that again. That's the whole thing. Zidane, apparently from what somebody put in the chat, is that Zidane has already agreed to the coaching job for France after the World Cup. Apparently Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah, I think Zidane is going to take the France job after when the World Cup finishes, because for me, like I think Deschamps' time is over. Yeah. I mean, he's given France some of the best times. Like, he gave them the 2018 World Cup with the fact that he and like Pogba, Dembele, Mbappe, Umtiti as well. Like,
Byron, he did real quick, Macy. Byron, he did the game that he played against AC Milan. They went with a 3-4-3. He's been mostly playing that 4-2-3-1 the whole season, but he's been switching to this 3-4-3 lately, which I don't understand why he's been doing it. So for me, I think, again, I don't know what the situation is with him as far as that. I think overall, the problem is at the end of the day is that, like I said, I think Cesc is overachieving because of the amount of money that has come down out of nowhere for Como. But we'll see. I mean, here, listen, if he pulls off European football for Como, I mean, it'd be a huge, huge success. But again, next season will be interesting because Nico Paz is going back to Real Madrid from what the talk is. So if he loses Nico Paz, he's going to need to find a new creative outlook to try to do what Paz does, and I just don't think he's going to do that. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. But Mason, Deschamps, he'd be an interesting person to hit the market to see if anybody would hire Didier Deschamps to be a manager if I'm
Yeah.
being quite honest with you.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah, he's fighting with refs because he knows he's fighting for all that. Listen, even if Como doesn't make European football outright, if they pull an upset on Inter and they win the Coppa Italia, it'd be a massive achievement for Cesc. However, like I said, I'm standing by and standing on the fact that Cesc would need to go to another team where
Yeah.
all this shady money hasn't been funneled into a club like how it has at Como, and has to prove himself there. If he was able to go and do that, then by all means, Cesc then can be considered a good manager and start moving up the ranks for bigger teams. But Como's getting a lot of shady money pumped into that team, and he's able to get a decent amount of good players. We'll see who he's able to hold on to, because Kakere is already linked to Napoli. He's potentially going to be the replacement for Lobotka. Paz has already talked about leaving. I think Duflakis, the Greek striker, is linked with a move away. There's talk that Alvaro Morata might move away to a different team. So
Yeah, because he's on loan from AC Milan. I think.
No, I think he's a permanent purchase now. You could be
Oh,
right.
Yeah, because AC Milan bought him from Galatasaray. Like, I think he came to Milan from Real Madrid. From
Oh no, you're right. He is on loan. Yeah. Good
yeah,
point.
so he's going to be going back to Milan as it stands because he's loan.
Oh yeah, and he hasn't been that good this year either.
Yeah,
Morata's been on the Morata's been on the downfall. Morata's been on the downfall for a long time from where he was. I honestly think Morata hasn't been anywhere close to where he was when he went Real Madrid, Juve, then back to Real Madrid.
yeah. The best of Morata was when he won the European Championship with Spain.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, as a club player, it was when he bounced.
Club player.
It was
the best of Morata was when he was at Real Madrid. Then he went to Juventus. Then back to Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're saying Fabregas is a checkbook manager for right now? Yeah. I want to see what he can do with the team that doesn't have all this money getting pumped into it.
Yeah.
For right now, yeah. I mean, Como's getting money funneled into the team. Como's getting money funneled into the team like crazy, which is why they were able to go out and buy all these players. I want to see when you don't have that availability. What will it take to get Serie A teams competitive again to compete with the Giants again? Get rid of financial fair play and get rid of the politics within Italy. The politics within Italy is the reason why the clubs are not able to buy their own stadiums. The club, and because of how financial fair play specifically handicaps the Italian teams more than any other league, is the reason why they don't have the money to be able to get the money up in order for them to go into the stadium. Juventus, Udine, and Sassuolo, if my memory serves me right, are the only teams that own their own stadiums in Italy. Sassuolo and Udine are bottom feeder teams. They're more teams that get players up that they know they're immediately going to turn around and sell and not compete. Juventus, the problem with Juventus is that Juventus ran themselves into the ground during that 9-year run of just spending stupid money. And eventually it caught up with them because, as it turns out, like it does a lot of times for Juventus, they were trying to finesse the system. I went over that in a different stream where Juventus was basically cooking the books, and their sporting director at the time, with a mix of Paratici, Pavel Nedved, the owner Agnelli, were basically paying off these other teams under the table while setting up how much it should cost them to buy another player so they could finesse it so that they could keep buying players. On paper, could keep buying players, but they were spending a lot of money under the table to hand back money for what the teams really wanted them. So, for example, one of the situations was they got Manuel Locatelli from Sassuolo and Chiesa on a 2-year loan, and I think both of them were $40 million. Whereas what they said was going on was Sassuolo and Fiorentina, I think, respectfully said they wanted 50 to 60 for both players. Sassuolo wanted 60 for Locatelli, and Fiorentina wanted 60 for Chiesa. And what Juventus was doing was their ownership was making a deal with Fiorentina that they would pay them the 40 million on paper and then give them 20 million, give them the rest of the money under the table so they could keep buying players and not get hit with the financial fair play. It's nothing different. Juventus has been doing shit like this for 40 years. People just aren't hip to game about it. Who would be somehow sell Jude and bring Paz back to fight for a place with Güler in lineup? I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I think Jude Bellingham is one of the most overrated players in the world. He's living off the first 6 months that he did with Carlo Ancelotti, and everybody thinks this guy's the best number 10 when Morgan Rogers is by far a better number 10 than he is. Morgan Rogers is way better than Jude Bellingham. So I agree. I would dump Bellingham if you could. If you can find somebody in the Premier League that's going to pay a shit ton of money because of the blind loyalty to Jude Bellingham, I would do it in a heartbeat. For me, I think Güler should be your permanent right winger. If you're going to go into next season doing the same thing of either a 4-2-3-1 with Paz and Güler as your respected number 10 and right wing, I think you guys ball out. But I don't know. I think there's a few things that need to be asked about that lineup with Real Madrid, in my personal opinion, because I think Tchouaméni needs to be looked at if possibly going. I wouldn't sell Camavinga. I like him a lot on the ball. I think Camavinga is a very good midfielder. Tchouaméni doesn't convince me anymore. Maybe I'm incorrect and you think different, but Trent played the other day. He didn't look that great. I think Trent made a huge mistake of going to Real Madrid, but when one of the Spanish giants come a call and you can't say no. I know it's controversial because a lot of Liverpool fans didn't like how he did it. And I hear it because he should have been more upfront with it than just kind of hiding out the way that he did. But yeah, I don't know about all that with Trent. It was an interesting situation as far as that. Macy, I'll ask you this same question that I asked the guys.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to bottle and we draw Spurs at the weekend, do you think the title's over? And if you do you think that obviously the title mathematically would not be over, but I think that if they go on and beat Newcastle, we draw Spurs and they win their next game and they jump us, I don't think City's going to give the lead back. I think once we give the lead to City, I think City takes off and run. I think that if we were to draw Spurs and City jump us, do you think that at that point that Sammy said put all your eggs in and try to go and win the Champions League?
I mean, I'm not a bit confident about the Champions League as well, because for me, there are other clubs looking to win the Champions League too. Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, they're all still in the competition, and that is why I understand that a lot of people and a lot of other platforms are saying that Arsenal are they're playing some nice football and they're just scoring goals in the Champions League and playing for fun. But I just think we might struggle in the Champions League because you saw we did finish top of the group, but what's it gonna do for us? Because we've got to play whoever finished below us, we have to play them. So that is why that is why I'm worried that our form in the Premier League is not so great, because if we take that abysmal form to the Champions League and any other team we come across, we play like that, then we could get dumped out of the Champions League easily. So this manager better not fuck around and like not make any stupid subs, because in the Wolves game, the subs cost us that vital 3 points against Wolves. So he better not do that kind of stupid substitution. Like, no. And the thing is, I hear a lot of people say, I hear a lot of sports. Arteta came out and said that Odegaard and Kai Havertz are available for the game against Tottenham, but I wouldn't start them, because what's the point? Like, do you really think Odegaard and Havertz is gonna save us? Think again. They're not, because I've seen this story before. I've seen the history of what Arsenal do, because they always rely on any one of their favorite players to save them. But it's not going to happen. No one is going to save Arsenal. We tried that with Saka. That didn't work. When he got that goal and Nketiah got that goal, what happened? We collapsed. We invited Wolves back into the match. They had the number on us when they got those 2 goals. So that is why the Champions League, for me, I just think we might not. I still think we might not win the Champions League either, because for me, I still see PSG, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Like, they're also another one of my favorites to win the Champions League too.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've said it multiple times. I don't think that Arsenal have a shot, first of all, because I look at Arsenal similar to what it was with Chelsea and City. I think Chelsea and City, they built up that mentality that ultimately led to them winning those Champions Leagues, because they went on years of just constantly winning trophies and anything else. Zainab, I'm gonna humbly disagree. I don't think Bellingham is anywhere near world class, if I'm being quite honest with you, and I don't think he's better than Pedri. I think in my personal opinion, I think Pedri and Federico Valverde for me are the 2 best midfielders.
That's why
I don't think Bellingham's anywhere near that. I can think of a few midfielders, in my opinion, that are better than Bellingham, but that's your opinion. We'll agree to disagree. I don't know. I hear what you're saying on this one, RSV, that he might be a purple patch, but at the same time, he's been bouncing in and out of being a left winger / left 10 and a central 10. I think if you get a manager with better players around him, I mean, here, his stats would be in double-digit numbers right now as far as assists if it wasn't for Ollie Watkins having an absolute shit year of finishing. You know, Ollie Watkins should have had a hat trick just against Arsenal in the game against Arsenal at the Emirates. So I think that Rodgers, while you could be right and potentially you could be right, I want to see Rodgers go to a bigger team or get some better talent around him than what he has as far as wing options at Aston Villa. Daniel Malin and Leon Bailey ain't worth a fucking thing. Neither is that bum Evan Guasand. Emiliano Buendia is okay at best. He doesn't have – he's really the only one doing stuff, and people know to just try to blitz him. So for me, I think if he is to move on, I think Rodgers can go and do a lot more with a better group of players around him than what he's doing at Villa. And it's not to throw shade at Villa, because what I think what Unai Emery's been doing at Villa has been absolutely fantastic, if I'm being quite honest with you. The fact that he has them fighting in a top 4 and that they were the team hurt the most by PSR this year, I think has been very, very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Macy, with this will be the last thing, and then we'll call it a night for here.
Because I think Jez is going to be doing his own call-in show.
Yeah,
He's invited anyone that would like to have their say about the North London derby on Sunday. They can come in and have their discussion about the game against Tottenham.
Yeah, with where the standings are right now, obviously both Villa and City now have a game in hand. City, we know if they go and beat Newcastle, they're 2 points behind us.
Yeah.
Villa could potentially be 5 points behind us. Villa, I'm not too worried about. I think Villa have shown that they don't have the squad to be able to get through, although it'd be unbelievable if they pulled it off. But I don't think Villa is in this title talk at all, just because of what we've seen in the recent weeks. However, do you think the top four, potentially top five, will end the way that it is, or do you think there's some twists? Do you think there's some twists coming up that maybe United fall out, Chelsea could fall out, Liverpool overtake them? I personally don't know what I'm getting from Chelsea, in my opinion. I think Liverpool can jump Chelsea. I'm not sure if United's going to jump Villa for third place under Carrick. Maybe, but I doubt it. Just because Villa has built up that buffer. Do you think, granted, leaving the title race alone, do you think Villa, United, and Chelsea will remain the three teams for top five, or do you think Liverpool will jump Chelsea or United? Who do you think will fall out at the top of those ones?
This is a tough question. So, I mean, Aston Villa are where they are in the table. They're third for a reason, and there ain't no way they're gonna slip up because, like, Unai Emery has built a team capable of challenging for a Champions League spot. Because Aston Villa, for me, they should be in a position to challenge for a European trophy. So, yeah, I'm happy that Villa are third. That's a good sign, but they can also get Champions League if they win the Europa League, which is a major if, because Unai Emery is an expert in the Europa League because he's won it 4 times in a row. He's been to a lot of finals in the Europa League. So it wouldn't surprise me if Aston Villa win the Europa League this year, which in my mind that could be the catalyst. And with Manchester United, they're starting to build up an amazing form under Michael Carrick. And I just think if Carrick continues to play, continues to to motivate the players even more, Manchester United could be the same that they used to be when Ferguson was in charge. So I still think United will still get top 4. I highly agree with it. Chelsea are a bit of a bogey club this year. We used to be afraid of Chelsea, but now it's changed around. Now they are afraid of us now. So Chelsea, for me, I just think they might not get Champions League again. I think next year they might get Europa League football instead. And for Liverpool, I mean, Liverpool could still get European football, but I just think they might not get Champions League or Europa League next season. I just think they could get Conference League if I'm correct. Because for me, Liverpool they're still a bit poor as well with Arne Slot. So Arne Slot is still not getting the best out of this Liverpool team. He continues to bitch and moan to the media with the fact that he can't that you can't blame Slot for everything. So for me, I still think Aston Villa will finish this year maybe in third spot. We know they're not winning the league, but I still think they'll get third spot. Manchester United will get top 4, and I think Chelsea will have to settle for 5th spot. And I think Liverpool will finish this year maybe 6th in my prediction. I'll say Liverpool. I think Liverpool will finish 6th in the table.
Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting to see. I think Liverpool will jump Chelsea in my personal opinion, but I think United and Villa stay in the same position. For Baran, Ruggieri's okay. I'm not sold yet. He had an okay year with Atalanta. I need to see more from him. JCG Ethan again. The Ethan on loan it was a huge mistake, especially right now. And the fact that Eze doesn't get minutes is absolute garbage. I agree with you. I don't think they should have ever put him on loan. Carrick might be Ole 2.0 of their version of Zidane when he first joined Madrid, or Guardiola when he first joined Barcelona, whom both had no big club experience before. It's a massive gamble. Listen, I think if Michael Carrick can be the manager that gets United back to playing more open attacking football, as I said, I'm a believer in the heritage. I think that if United goes back to playing open attacking football, you will see United do better and have better standings and actually being a much more better ran club as far as on the field. Again, I'm a believer that when you're a massive club, you have to play to the DNA of the club. And I think that's the reason why Arsenal and United have had these two massive fall offs from where they were in the past as clubs, as far as winning trophies and playing good football. The fact that they've gone away from the DNA of the club, I think, is the reason why you have seen the fall off be so bad for these two teams. So we'll see what happens with Carrick. It's a massive gamble, but at that point, every manager hire is potentially a gamble. You know, it just depends who it is. So, yeah, that's what I am with that. I think Ethan forced the move too, Prom. I think he did too. I think he forced the move because he knew he wasn't getting any minutes. The only bad thing for Ethan is that De Zerbi wanted him. De Zerbi was playing him. He was showing that he was a good player in De Zerbi's system. But now that since De Zerbi's gone, he's been fighting for minutes again. So we'll see with what ends up happening.
Marseille have appointed. Apparently, Marseille have a new manager.
Yeah,
Habib Bear, his name. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know who the guy is, but I do know that Ethan was already sent to the bench the first game that he took over.
Yeah,
so.
they lost 2-0 to Brest today.
Yeah.
And Mason Greenwood missed a penalty.
Yeah, Marseille's starting to shit the bed now that De Zerbi's gone. So
yeah,
we'll see what anything. Apparently, apparently Marseille paid $3 million for him. Me and Shane were having this conversation on DJB's channel for his reaction from the Wolves game. Apparently, with what Shane was saying was that he can't be recalled for the $3 million. I mean, if Arsenal's making as much money as they say they are, I'd pay the $3 million and call him back right now because we need him.
Yeah, me too.
But we don't know. That's Arteta. Arteta's being Arteta. But yeah, big up to everybody who came over, who stopped by for the conversation today. Macy, appreciate you hopping on. Big up Sammy, the football rig. Big up Waffle Don. J Lux, appreciate you. Appreciate you hopping on as well and meeting you. PFC, appreciate it, man. Thank you stopping by for the conversation. But yeah, Macy, we'll see. I'll see you around. I'll probably see you tomorrow for Aaron's call.
Aaron's show. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, Gianni.
Yep. Everybody in the chat, everybody who stopped by, I appreciate everybody who is on as well. Go follow Waffle Don. Go follow the football rig. Go follow Sammy, who is on. Both of them put out good content. They're good dudes. Subscribe to them. Appreciate you guys stopping by for the conversation. We will be back tomorrow. It'll be a short episode, but I'll be back on tomorrow with Rashid. Rashid will be doing his Who You Would Pay to See 11. And then at 2:00, I'm on with Shane. Off Topic is back. It'll be about the best what-if talents had they not ruined themselves. So we got some good streams going on tomorrow. Appreciate everybody stopping by for the conversation. I hope all you guys have a good weekend. And, yeah, man, hopefully Arsenal smack the fuck out of Spurs. And talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend, guys. Macy, have a good weekend, my guy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Big up, Gianni. Big up, bro.